9-1 to win the Dubai Classic in October 1990. It seemed as if Davis was a spent force. But a few weeks later, in the UK Championship final at Preston, Davis led Hendry 15-14 and thus needed only one of the remaining 2 frames to regain the title.
Well, both players getting applause for their opening shots, and they've really got the audience on their toes here. This is quite tremendous, the atmosphere. And for the first time, Steve Davis perhaps calling the tune, having trailed from frame 1, is now in the lead in frame 30. And Steve has every opportunity here of picking up the loose reds and building a nice lead in a very vital frame indeed. In fact, a frame that could mean everything to him.
Well, there's still one red there into the same pocket as Steve's going to take the black. I don't know whether he's quite got the angle to get behind it, but can just run through off the back and side cushion to get on the red near the pocket.
And that little dab of side there has just put him in perfect position here for another red after the black. And Stephen anxiously watching and hoping. Well, Steve looks up, strides away, and there endeth the lesson. However, a very nice 44 break for starters.
Well, that's the first sign of an error from Steve Davis for the last 2 or 3 frames, but this isn't an easy red he's left.
Yes, Ray, I think Steve was very intent there not to open the pack, and just a little bit thin, left a bit of pace in the cue ball, but he's running away again onto that cushion. He played both aspects of the shot there, and he's got them both, so now he's got to handle the other aspect, which will be safety. Now, well, that is obviously a mistake. He's allowed Stephen to get his hand on the table, and I think he's taking this on. And a long way out.
Yes, I just wonder, Jack, whether Steve Davis wasn't using a bit of psychology there. Stephen has missed 1 or 2 long shots and maybe just left him that half chance. But having missed it, Steve Davis has now got a chance. Red past the brown to the far corner would be the virtual shot to nothing. Stevie having a little chat to himself there. I think he thought that if that one had gone in, it was all over.
Ray, I think he thought it was in. And my word, these players are really feeling this. And really, this is the first time when we've seen Stephen really thinking deeply about everything. Suddenly the long pots are a little more difficult. And Stephen, surprisingly, has scored 1 point in the last 2 frames. So he's feeling rather shut out at this very important time. Well, he certainly looks unhappy, and this is the first time we've seen Stephen looking rather ragged.
Steve won't be too happy with that one. Can't get to the brown. The green doesn't go.
Yes, he's feeling the world's against him in this second, Ray. It was rather a thin cut, and it was one where I expect he thought, well, I'm bound to be on something, but that's how snooker gets you.
Steve Davis, 1.
Well, the pink didn't go in, but the red's over the left middle, and Steve Davis can get to it. So if he can just drop onto a colour, this young man could have perhaps played his last shot.
Well, it's certainly on. Well, he's looking at the yellow. He's got a nice angle there to run around the open reds. And again, well, he's misjudged that badly. 49 points ahead and still plenty on the table.
Yes, I think he's just tightened up a little. The winning post is in sight, and it's been a long haul to get there.
Yes, Ray, if Steve wins this, I think it will be a triumph of technique. For the hammering that he's taken from young Stephen, who's played magical snooker. He's withstood the pressures and come good at the end. It's quite a remarkable achievement.
Steve Davis, 3.
Well, that's a great pot, and looking back a few frames, we would have thought, well, this is the frame gone.
Seven. 8.
So this is his first score for 45 minutes, and that's a long time.
Well, if Stephen does clear them from this position, it'll be a quite remarkable break. He knows with every shot that his title is on the line. And the balls are set ideally.
25. 26.
Well, he's got a slight angle on the pink here where I think he can screw if he can just get past the blue. Well, he bites his lip there, and just a little more difficult, but if he gets it, well, he's got 'em on.
The blue, of course, is the biggest of his problems.
37. 42. 46.
Well, this is the one that counts. Now, will he take it on? And now, well, he's stretching over the black, so it's the rest as well. Tough shot. Tough shot. My word, a wonderful shot. Yes, and there he puts his fist to the air, takes the pink, and it's 15 all. We are down to the wire.
That blue must be one of the shots of your career.
Oh, without doubt. And, you know, I doubt whether I'd even take that on nowadays. At the time, looking back, it was a crazy shot to take on because I was almost guaranteed to stick it up if I missed it. But it was just one of them clearances where you sort of you're full of adrenaline and you don't think of playing safe. You're on such a roll. And, I potted a few good balls to clear up because I remember he must have had a good 4 or 5 good chances to win the match, and he didn't take them. So I knew this was my chance, and then I just seen the blue, and at the time I just didn't even think of a safety shot. I just thought, I'm getting down, I'm going to pot this, and I'm going to stand the white for the pink, and fortunately it went in because I would have left it if I'd have missed.
You talk about the adrenaline flowing, but at the end of the previous frame, you looked fed up and fearing the worst.
Yeah, at that point, I was struggling. Steve had got on top of me, it has to be said, in that last evening session, and it was only the sort of when you're a snooker player and you're involved in a match like that, and you see weaknesses in your opponent, it can spark you into life, and. As I said, Steve had 3 or 4 really good chances to win the match, and when I seen he couldn't take it, that sort of brought me back to life.
So obviously, going into the decider, you're thinking very differently to how you felt.
Absolutely. I mean, now I've got a new lease of life. Now it's like a new match.
Oh dear, oh dear, now. Well, a last minute kiss there has given Stephen a wonderful chance.
8. 9.
'Well, I think this sudden opportunity has
16.
pumped the adrenaline into Stephen. He's suddenly come alive, I feel. He's had a long spell.
17. 22. 23.
'We'll just have to be a little careful on this one. Although the reds are split, they're not in ideal position.
Thirty. 31. 36. 37. 44. 45.
'Well, Stephen has every chance here if he can just hold himself together.
53.
Well, not quite far enough. Just the one red loose to the left of the pink.
58.
'Nice round of applause, but this one is tricky, and as so often happens, the most vital stage of the break.
Well, that will be rather a stabbing wound for Steve Davis. Had to sit and suffer. And is that the final blow? And Steve remaining calm and concentrating. And I fear for Steve Davis that is the end.
74.
Well, one can only have The greatest admiration for this young man, because a couple of frames ago his concentration seemed to have gone, and to go behind and then reply with snooker like this, Jack, is really quite remarkable.
Yes, it's unlike some games. You can't have a draw at this game. They both have played so brilliantly. It's a game I shall never forget. I've seen many of the finest games with centuries and 147s, but for sheer quality, I think this is the supreme game. And would you believe
91.
he has a 1-4-1 break on, and what a finish that would be. Oh, well, he's got a cover.
Yes, but if John Parrott's in Liverpool watching that, he'll be pleased, I'm sure, Jack.